So the purpose of today's video is to talk about the new weapons that have come in with Witch Queen and some of the old weapons from last season, in particular Stasis weapons. Now, this build that I'm showing you, well, what I will show you after the sort of introduction is how we're going to get Font of Might going all the time, like literally all of the time with the Stasis build. So we can max out damage on weapons like this Deliverance. Some of the rolls that we've got now with Stasis weapons in primary and heavy is ridiculous. We've got like Harmony there, we've got a new perk from the Raid Soul Drinker as well. Sleight of Hand. Harmony's a really good perk, as we already know. We've got Ice Loner from last season. We're going to show you how to get max damage on that. We've got things like this crate here, Stasis. We've got this sniper here with firing line, Stasis. We've got scout rifles. Absolutely brilliant. I'm going to show you how to sort of get the best out of these weapons. Maximum damage you possibly can. Reed's Regret from last season there. We've got some crazy heavy weapons as well now, all Stasis. So like this Typhon here, grenade launcher, explosive light. We've got lasting impression rocket launchers. And what we're going to do it is we're going to always have this Font of Might stacked. I will show you the build after a few clips to show you what I'm doing, and I'll go into the build. But this is the sort of first demonstration I wanted to show you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to throw my dust field down, freeze these enemies here, a couple of the enemies around there. I'm going to kill the frozen targets, kill the crystal, shatter these, and that's going to create me shards. Now watch what happens on the bottom left of the screen when I pick one of these shards up. I'm going to get 25% damage boost on my Stasis weapons for 13 seconds. And this is a build where you can consistently keep this buff going all of the time. And I am not joking here, I mean all of the time. So you can constantly be running around with your Stasis weapons, getting a 25% damage buff at a minimum. And then, as I showed you the weapons earlier, the grenade launcher and the sniper, perks like firing line, explosive light, things like that. You can get some stupid damage going. I've consistently been top fragging on my team in the new raid Vow of the Discipler with this setup as well. Really strong. And here we go. Just to show you now, look, picking up some more shards. I'm going to pick these up, switch to my Stasis linear, the Reed's Regret, and you're getting 126k on that tank. Don't last very long at all. So if this is a build that interests you, stick around and I'll show you exactly how to achieve it all the time to get the 25% damage buff going all of the time. And like I said, it stacks with every other perk in the game, even stacks with wells and weapons of light, so you're possibly getting 25 to 50% damage buff plus frenzy, etc. like that. So stick around, I'll show you. So this is the Stasis damage build if you want. It's constantly a minimum of 25% extra damage buff all of the time to your Stasis weapons. As I've shown you, the Stasis weapons in the earlier clip, there's loads this season. New ones from the raid. Fusion rifle, scout rifle, we've got the sniper, we've got rep weapons from last season. Reed's Regret, new weapons like this one here, Typhon. Yep, so I'll show you how to get 25% damage buff on them all of the time. And especially this one, Palmyra B, absolutely brilliant rocket launcher with lasting impression. I've seen a couple of videos on this and it's like the best sort of, one of the best rocket launchers in the game at the moment. Well, this build makes it even better because of the 25% damage buff you're getting all the time. And I just want to state again, that is a minimum of 25% damage buff because it just stacks with weapons of light and a well of radiance also. So this mod here, Font of Might, does actually stack with other sort of benefits, including charge with light high energy fire. I'll show you some more clips of that, but this is the build. Again, I'm not going to go like massively into them because I'm going to leave a dim link in my description so you can just copy them, but I'm going to go through the mods that I run. And this one is crucial, you need to run this one. Grim Harvest, definitely need to run this one. Defeating slowed or frozen combatants creates Stasis shards. From the clip that I showed you earlier, the shards are really important because every time we pick them shards up, we're going to get a 25% damage buff. I will show you how that works in a moment. Here's the fragments. Whisper of Hedrons and Whisper of Chains, I'll run them both together because they increase your resilience, recovery and aim assist, things like that, so you're extra tanky as well. Whisper of Shards, shattering the stasis crystal, temporarily boosts my grenade recharge rate. So that's a key one as well, because you want always getting your dustfield grenades back all of the time. So you can constantly keep your 25% damage buff going by picking up the shards. Whisper of Fissures, I use this one for ad clearance. It just increases the damage and the size of the burst of stasis when you destroy a stasis crystal or a frozen target. Here's the mods that I'm running. I'll start off with this one, Elemental Shards. This is another crucial one. This is the sort of catalyst for this build. So what it does, it turns all them shards that we're creating from my Dustfield Grenade and from this aspect to your Grim Harvest, all the shards that you see in the clips previously. What Elemental Shards does is it turns them all into thinking, well, it makes the game think that they're elemental wells. So stasis shards count as stasis elemental wells for you. So that's how you get the constant damage buff when we pair it with Font of Might. So obviously picking up elemental wells gives you 25% damage buff with Font of Might, but the shards that I'm creating with this mod here, it makes the sort of shards think that they're elemental wells. Now the other mod that I run is Melee Well Maker, because the Shuriken on the Hunter is still really good on stasis. It still kills 2 or 3 enemies with 1 melee. It's still stupid, it's still strong. So that's also going to spawn an elemental well. Supreme Well Maker, I'm going to show you footage of that in a later clip, just as soon as I finish explaining this. So what this does, it's casting your super spawns 3 stasis elemental wells near you. So again, that's just another way of proccing our Font of Might, 25% damage buff. So every time we cast our super, it's going to drop 3 stasis wells behind me, which is going to improve all my damage on all my stasis weapons that I've shown you. And then the very last one that I run is Elemental Time Dilation, because how that works, it just extends the timer for the buffs on like your elemental well buffs. So like Font of Might, for example, is 10 seconds. Well, one of these, it gives it an extra 3 seconds. So it's quite good. That's the build. The last thing I want to show you is Renewal Grasps. This is another sort of key one. Really good. Your Dustfield Grenades have a much larger effect radius. Allies inside the Dustfield take reduced damage and targets inside the area deal reduced damage. But I've done a little video on this earlier on, I'll link it. It's got some hidden features. I'm pretty sure these exotics give you increased ability regen as well with your grenade. It's ridiculous, and I like to run this one with it as well, Grenade Kickstart. So it's an all-round solid build. You're going to be quite tanky with all the fragments that I've put on, a Renewal Grasps and your Dustfield Grenade, and you're going to be able to put out some serious damage, 25% damage at a minimum all of the time. I hope the build's been good. I'm going to show you some few more clips now of it all in action. So the first sort of mod that I wanted to show you, what I said I'd talk to you about, is Supreme Well Maker. Now this one works is like this. I'm casting my super, doing damage to that target there, and as you've seen there, that's the Supreme Well Maker, and that's spawning me 3 wells. Picking them up, and that's going to prop my stasis damage boost from Font of Might on the left hand side. So it's a really good mod. This is it in action in the new raid against the Caretaker. I'm going to pop my super in a minute, and if you keep your eye on that bottom left of the screen, here I'm running the Stasis Sniper and the Stasis Rocket Launcher. So I'm going to get the 25% extra damage, plus we don't have actually a well on this plate here, but it does actually stack with wells, well of radiances and bubbles, but there it is, there's my stasis weapon boost. So it's a really solid DPS option. So as you can imagine there, I've got my stasis damage boost from the sniper, and I'm also running the stasis rocket launcher. It's just free damage basically with this build. It's free damage, and this is just clips of me showing you how easy it is to sort of proc them, the stasis shards all the time. You'll constantly see the left hand side of the screen, the stasis weapon boost, consistently going through a full strike or a full wellspring. As long as you're creating the shards, which is really easy to do, you will constantly have it. And here's another example. So I've casted my super, picked them wells up, I've got my stasis rocket launcher, stick that into him. It's pretty much good night. He takes some serious damage, and also you're getting ticks off your rocket launcher as well, your super as well, sorry. So yep, the build's been alright for you. Let me know what you think. Stasis is still good. Take it easy.